I'm Lori Rewczik, and I operate in Omaha, Nebraska, and Council Bluffs, Iowa, and East Lincoln, Nebraska. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, so I always have kind of wanted to do something more in business. I've always looked at different types of businesses that I wanted to get into. Not really sure exactly what it was, kind of bounced around a lot of ideas throughout my life. At the time, I had 4 young kids. My oldest was 10, and then my youngest wasn't even 1 at the time. But I knew that I wanted to do something that was fun, that I could interact with them. So my thought was that I was gonna open a shaved ice stand in Omaha. I had the location. I knew what I wanted to do, ran it by my husband. He's like, okay, it sounds great. And that was kind of what my plan was when we got back to Omaha. It wasn't probably 2 days that I had said that to my husband, and I was driving down the road and I saw a Kona ice truck drive right by me. And this was while we were still in Kansas City. We were moving to Omaha in 2 weeks. When I saw the Kona ice truck, I couldn't stop smiling. Like, I looked at it and I realized that this was shaved ice. I'd never seen one before. So went straight home, got on the internet, started researching more about what Kona ice stood for, what they were doing all around the nation with the Give Back program, and how they were, just putting smiles on people's faces and making people happy and being part of the community. It was something that was exactly what I was looking for, only better. I talked to my husband about it again. I was like, okay, well, now forget the shaved ice stand. I knew that this was the right company for me at that point. We closed on our house in Omaha, and the truck was delivered the next day. And I remember just being ecstatic, right? I mean, here it is, I got this new truck, and then trying to kind of figure it out at the same time. And one piece of advice that I got at college was, make sure you get your phone number on your truck, because as soon as people see it, your phone's gonna start ringing. So of course, what I do, I slap my number on the truck, like, in, I don't know, 3 different places. Make sure my number's on the truck. I drove it into town. I'm looking, hoping my phone would ring, and it never rang. I think I thought that everybody who would see the truck would have the same reaction that I did. Like, I couldn't get my eyes off of it. I couldn't stop smiling, and my phone didn't ring at least for 2 months. And I remember thinking, what in the world have I done? So that first summer, I realized that I was gone from the house a lot because it was gonna take time away from my family. It was gonna take driving around. When I was gonna open this snow cone stand was gonna be me and my kids. It was gonna be something I was gonna do with these kids. And now I was gone and working this truck. I knew what we had was great. I knew we had the great product. We just have to get it out there. When I got back to Omaha, my nursing job had reached out and asked if I wanted to come back. I was working Kona as well. And I said, well, of course. It was a few years later. I had gotten a couple more promotions at my corporate job, and Kona was booming. They were both doing well. I mean, it was great on the outside, but it was just not good. I just never slept. I mean, if I had a break at my corporate job, I was doing Kona. If I was at home, I was hiding from my kids, like trying to catch up on emails. It was ridiculous, the way that I was living. And I don't know if everybody does this, but you burn the candle at both ends until you're just about dead, I mean, and I don't know why we do it. I have no idea why we do it, but we do it until we just realize that that's just dumb. But that's what I did for a while. I wasn't really ready to sell. I saw the value in Kona. I saw what Kona could do, but I wasn't ready to give up my corporate job either. But I knew I wanted more time with my family, so I was just trying to find other ways to figure that out. I want to say it was like 2018, and it was the end of that season. My girlfriend texted me. She said, we haven't seen you in forever. Where have you been? You hiding from us? Blah, blah. I said, okay, I'll meet you. And I almost canceled on them because something else was going on, but I'm like, I'm not going to cancel. I'm going to go see my friends. I haven't seen them in forever. And I get there, and I walk in, and they're sitting there, and they just look great. And they're like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. Like, how have you been? And then, and then I just start crying. And I said, if I die tomorrow, I will be so mad at myself for the way that I'm living, because this is not what I want. Like, I don't even see you people. I don't see my kids. I hide from them. It's crazy. I said on the outside everything looks great, but it's not. And so basically talked to them, and they were like, you just need to figure out what you want, and you need to do one. Why are you doing both of these? You only live once. Why are you why are you doing both of these jobs? I went out, after our dinner, went to my car, sat there for probably 2 hours, and on the back of where you license your car, piece of paper, wrote on there, just wrote like, what are my priorities? Like, what are the things that actually matter in my life? Like, how do I get there? Everything that I had written on there, I thought it would all lead back to going corporate, like going in the corporate world. But it all led back to going to Kona. Like, I love to have fun. I love to smile. I love to make people smile. I love to be part of a community. I love to be with my kids. I love to interact with my kids. I love to bring my kids to work. I love to run a business where I can have my kids with me. There's so much that I love about Kona. I don't know why I was always just going back to the corporate world. I know that it just seemed so much easier, but that's not what it was. That's not where my happiness is. That's not where I wanted to be. It's not what I wanted. Once I quit the corporate world, I had no idea how much easier it was gonna get. And I could actually be involved a lot more. My kids are highly involved in Kona. It's definitely turned into more of a family business at this point. I think that the value that my kids have gotten out of Kona Ice is unreal. I mean, just them being able to grow up knowing how businesses run. I love that my kids do that and have to do that in a Kona truck and start when they're 10. I love it, and this is something that I wanted, and now they're doing it. I'm definitely living the dream that I had at the snow cone stand originally. Only a lot bigger than I had imagined.